TV has been ordered. TVists win. That is such a dated reference, going all the way back to the original Counter-Strike, and it really gets me thinking, what exactly am I going to do with this intro, outro, BRB that shows the old TV when I finally get rid of it? What is up, everybody? This is Jay, aka MultimediaJay, and I said that things were going to change, and I said that the chat streams were going to eventually come to an end for a bit, and things are going to go in a different direction on this channel, and I am being forced to do so earlier than I thought I would. Amazon has sent me a little something, one of those notices that they send, where they're like, oh yeah, that thing you ordered, it's going to be there a day early. So I have to now figure out what I'm going to do about tomorrow. Tomorrow is supposed to be my chores day, and I actually have an appointment with the back specialist as well. So I got to figure out what the heck I'm going to do. So, I don't want some Amazon Prime person in an electric van to either have to handle the box more than necessary or leave a television on my porch in broad daylight on a weekday afternoon, especially when I went to all the trouble to take this week off so that I wouldn't have to go through all of this. So what is up, everybody? This is Jay, aka MultimediaJay. Might as well get the formalities out of the way before we get into some ranting and other stuff. There is no real topic to this other than the TV's on the way. So whatever tangents we go down, we will go down. Let me just see if this camera can be just a little bit clearer. But oh man, oh man, oh man, we get some music going too, and the whole, oh, I see pixels now. That's good. But yeah, I gotta figure out what to do with the graphics I have from my old TV, specifically this one. Not gonna play the song over again, but the reason why I have that shot of the TV showing the tuner that I never use is specifically because of it's a reference to my analog past. That snow with, without minus the weak or no signal, that snow was what I saw when I turned on my TV and played video games when I was growing up. And this continued to be a thing until analog TV died. I think this TV I've been running into the ground and using as a light, so to speak, to light me up. This TV that I've had since 2008, the oldest YouTube video on my channel actually references when I actually got this thing. But this TV was actually my first widescreen gaming display. I was playing World of Warcraft in 4:3 on a Samsung 17-inch or 19-inch, whatever it was, monitor, but it was a square screen one from 2006. That died of 2005, maybe. I don't know. When did I get that? No, 2006. 2004 was my last tube monitor, and then I went to 2006 and picked up my first flat screen. Died of capacitor plague a couple of years ago. I'm kind of surprised, but the caps could have been from that troubled period in the early 2000s when I got that sort of thing. But yeah, so one of the reasons why I want to take this week off specifically is to order the TV and get this resolved and have some time to be able to get this new setup going, because this is actually the beginning. There'll be tech videos on this, obviously. I'm not going to do a live stream of this so you can sit there having to fast forward through, like me opening the box or using a screwdriver on a few things here and there. You should know by now that a lot of what I do with the tech videos is a highlights reel of some big project I'm working on that often has lots and lots of periods of downtime involved in it. But one of the things I want to do, I look at my setup right now. You've seen it in various videos I've done for the last couple of years. But I have two bookshelves for my front left, front right. I have a center channel sitting on top of the TV via a TV shelf, which I think actually played a role in the accelerated demise of this television, because there's a problem with the heat dissipating off of the unit, and it also might put some pressure on it mechanically as well. So I've been wanting to upgrade this for a while. My second monitor is on top of my right bookshelf speaker off to the side over there. That's what I'm constantly looking over at. I want to get that replaced. Hey, why don't we throw some music into the mix while we're at it? We had it when we started, so we're pretty much into the discussion now as it is. There we go. So I have, oops, we can't minimize it. In order to show the counter, we have to leave it on the screen. But my second monitor has been sitting on top of my right bookshelf speaker for about 1.5 years now, since 2020, when I was like, I hope this doesn't fall over. Somehow I found a way to not have it fall over in all of this streaming that I've done since the beginning of 2020. So I think it's about time I started investing in proper monitor arms, stuff like that. I basically want to be able to have a desk again. I want to be able to get rid of the keyboard and mouse, or just put it off to the side and be able to work on something on paper, or open a book, or do something, make a video. And the way to do that is obviously to take my desk back. And the way to take my desk back is to stop plopping the TV on it with its default stands and everything. So I will be investing in bolt-on stands and arms for my monitors. And I do want to get speaker stands for my front left, front right speakers. So first we're going to position the TV. And then we're going to position the TV, and then we're going to figure out the rest of it. See how that all goes. We already have like the back speakers over on bookshelf things up there, but I just have to make sure I don't have a setup where one of my speakers is getting blocked by one of the displays. It needs to be, I need to be in the line of fire of that speaker in order to hear it properly. So we'll do the TV first, put the center channel down on the desk, and then eventually look to move it behind everything, as well as move the alarm clock and everything. Stuff that's currently on top of the TV will be brought down a little lower. So I'll get some desk space back by doing that, because the default stand for this 2008 TV is actually a big circle, and it takes up about half the desk. So we're going to start with a custom bolt-on arm. I'm also going to keep the feet from the TV somewhere so I can put them back on anytime. Wound up going 1080p one last time. I know 4K is a thing now, but I don't have a computer that does 4K 60 yet. So it'll do 4K 30, but I want to get to the point where I don't want to give up good graphics settings just to increase the resolution. The only use I have for 4K right now, especially with sticking with a TV that's the size I have and not getting bigger with it, because I've been having problems with like being too close to the movie theater screen with the TV I've had is a 37-inch. So you've probably seen it before numerous times. But we can actually look it up, too. I think the Newegg pictures are still out there for it. It's an LNU something 2008. You've probably seen them all because the Samsung TVs all looked the same back then. It actually has a bezel that's about this big, so definitely looks like an old screen at this point. But this thing right now, because of where I am and how close I am to it, I see the full details of 1080p, but I lose track of my mouse cursor easy because I'm often looking at the middle of the screen and the mouse might be off to the side. So I actually have to physically look around to find where my cursor went and wiggle it a little. You know how many times I've been ganked in World of Warcraft or something because I couldn't find my mouse cursor? There's a couple of downsides to these kinds of things. So stuff along those lines. All right, let's see here. The TV's on its way, and unfortunately Amazon, with their stupid little, hey, we're going to give you something a day early, they've defeated the purpose of me doing this week. So, I mean, should I have planned on the conflict with the appointment on Thursday so we could possibly deliver on today? Or should I just pretty much defeated the purpose of having a vacation and tried to do Saturday into Friday? It's just Amazon Prime. It's just like, look, from a business, this is just one of the ways that Amazon treats people like crap. From when it's business to business, businesses can negotiate when they take deliveries of stuff and when trucks arrive, and they can schedule appointments and stuff. Amazon looked like they had that, but they don't. And they wonder why there's problems with porch pirates and other stuff along those lines. So Amazon, as big as they are and as experienced as they are in this industry, why on earth can they not go, why do they even give people the illusion that they can decide when to receive stuff and then not follow through on it? It's nuts. Why is this a thing? Anyways, let me check a little something here, and let's load up React mode. We're going to mess with somebody here. Yeah, still going, huh? Still going. Let's surprise. I know he's not using any background music, but let's have some fun here. Take this down. Minimize live control room for a bit so this will link up properly. React mode. Did it do it automatically? No, it didn't. Let's see. How about browser? I think browser mode, no, React mode will probably, no, I think React mode is still set for Dev and Nash. Is it? Or see what happens. Logan589XP. Let's see here. Let's see what happens when he finds out I'm in his chat and I'm live at the same time. No, we got to keep it full size here. Let me just unmute him here.
Their course pass is basically just doing the Fighters Pass, but for Mario Kart. They're basically making the game Mario Kart Ultimate, and that
Howdy.
You can even
Can
tell
you guess what I'm doing?
So, the fact that all 48 tracks they're going to be adding over the
I don't
next
think he's
going
to respond. He's trying to do like a radio
remastered
show.
Tracks remade from the old games, including Mario Kart Tour.
This is so stupid.
We'll get to that in a second. Meaning that they really are trying to make the game Mario Kart Deluxe. That's right, Mario Kart 8 Ultimate. Oh, hey Jay, nice to see you. But yeah, so.
Hey Logan, how you doing?
Actually, I know you are doing something right now. I think because I just saw before, like 14 minutes ago, I saw that you started streaming. But of course, I'm doing this right now, so I haven't been watching it. But I'll watch it later when I'm done with this. But anyways.
Oh no,
yeah,
he doesn't know. He doesn't know.
They're taking Mario Kart 8 and they're turning it into
have a good stream.
Mario Kart Ultimate, basically. And a lot of people were talking about maybe do that for Mario Kart 9, but they just said, you know what?
Said
We're
to
not
have
even
a
gonna
good
do that.
stream.
We're basically going to make Mario Kart 9
See if we can figure it out.
That's basically what this is. Because we're basically getting the amount of content that we would get in an actual game. We're getting, because 48 tracks, like for context, that's how many tracks are already in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yeah, Mario Kart 8 man,
Deluxe
seriously.
Already has, yeah. Thanks for stopping by, Jay. Yeah, Mario Kart 8
Thanks for
Deluxe
stopping by.
Already.
Wait till he finds out. Oh man. There's a reason why I don't do that anymore, though. The reason why I wanted to take chat streams in a more informal direction is because what if your internet lags when you're in the middle of a huge discussion like that? So one of the advantages, of course, that videos have is if you're gonna do a podcast like that, you can say it. And we saw with what Logan just did there, the problems with that whole setup. So he had a very nice, fiery discussion about this Nintendo Direct announcement for the Switch. Of course, I still have a Wii U, so I'm basically an old guy who's kind of sitting this one out. But what we have here is a situation where, number one, if his internet cuts out, he doesn't know he'd have to go check his VOD and stop and be like, did I say this? Did I say that? So if you show up with something to say like this and you have technical difficulties, then you might lose something. Plus, one of the draws to streams is, people can interact in the chat and affect things. So like I just did, I showed up in his chat and I was like, hey Logan, and he actually stopped in the middle of his discussion. I was like, hey Jay, and then thanks for stopping by. So fundamentally, as easy as streaming is with chat streams and PC streams, where you just push the button and go live, it's not the best way to make topical stuff. That's one of the principal reasons why yesterday, when I did, the thing that I did with the pandemic rants, one of the reasons why I did that yesterday, very specifically, was to shut down, well, not shut down, but just to shut down, or shall we say, conclude the discussions in that format, because I want to move away from it. I want to make a kind of a logo flash type thing, not the name like that, but maybe the old J thing, make it look a little better in HD. Think like what Heel Mike does, what Deltia's Gaming does. So have some simple intro or something along those lines. But if you actually know, the streamers aren't even my main inspiration for this. I've been seeing these kinds. I like to pretend that all of this new stuff with streaming gear and being used for videos became a thing in the very recent past. But the truth of the matter is, like 10 years ago, I was watching Tech Syndicate videos that opened exactly in that way. Logan would be talking about, oh, let's make a console killer PC, da-da-da. And then it would flash to the Tech Syndicate logo. Then, of course, Tech Syndicate has kind of moved away. What even is Tech Syndicate doing anymore? I know that after the split up between Logan and Wendell, it was Level 1 Techs that stayed on the whole thing with... But what exactly is Tech Syndicate doing these days? Are they just talking like, technology. What do they do? Let's see. Let's mute the tab too in case they play something DMCA. Get a real job, you slacker. Talking about indie games and stuff. Is it just me? Hold on, chat. Is it just me? Browser mode. Wrong thing, you piece of crap. Yeah, I'm a YouTube loser who's playing around with... Is it just me, or is Logan looking like Jonathan Davis from Korn these days? It's just... When's he starting a metal band? I know he's always been metal as heck to keep it family friendly. But holy crap, man. What exactly does Tech Syndicate even... What does he... I know he's changed the focus of things. He's... let's see. How to get rich rant-ish. Microsoft owns all these games. Yes. Oh, he's getting into retro gaming. Ah. Ooh, I got to check this out then. Because I see it. Hold on. Put that back on the screen. Hold on a second. No. Tech Syndicate. That retro gaming video that's right there. I got to put that in watch later. Look at that, a blue Chief Tech Dragon case in the mouse over preview. I got to check that out. You bought a new TV. I'm a bit confused the title. It's been a while since I watched stream because of work. Yeah, well, it's been a while since you were able to be here because of work, because I'm on vacation this week. You know, I'm night shift, middle of the night. That's like West Coast if people want to stay up late at the most. I am mostly a YouTuber the longer I stay on night shift. If I really want to get into streaming to the point where people in the US could actually watch, then I would have to go back to days. But I don't know about that whole getting up in the morning thing. Yes. For the past year or two, the TV that I've been running into the ground has been having... It's like an old car, like an ancient carburetor car, where you have to warm it up or else it keeps stalling. It reminds me of actually the original Silver Bullet when it died of capacitor plague. So I think it's probably a dried up capacitor in the power supply after all these years. You turn it on and it just flashes on and off. It keeps restarting. I had to mute the internal speaker because it would screech and nearly blow its speakers whenever it screwed up. So you turn it on, and at first it turns on and off without showing you a picture. Then it does like an acid trip. Colors are completely wrong, and the image is 100% corrupted picture. Think like, you know, like the psychedelic 60s or something, if you ever seen that in the movies or anything. Or like Austin Powers, there we go. The Austin Powers movies had quite a bit of that because they pastiched that stuff. And so you go from just power cycling to scrambled image, and then finally after about 10-15 minutes when it's warmed up, you finally get a picture that stays on the screen. So the thing is, though, this is the excuse I've been waiting for to shelve this darn thing. I could probably make some videos fixing it, but what would I be fixing? It's sad to get rid of it because it kind of still works, and it works really well as a 1080p monitor. It's really sad to get rid of this thing because it hasn't completely broken yet. But it's an old cold cathode. It's an old cold cathode machine. Mike, thanks for stopping by. Chico, thanks for stopping by. Kids would go around my high school with speaker magnets. We did that in my day, too. Electronics shop, guys would be working on like a giant woofer with a huge magnet in the back. And they'd be like, and your screen would go all psychedelic and warped and stuff. And like, don't break my monitor. I'd be like, hit the DGOS button if it screws up. That used to be a great way, by the way, to make the teachers mad at you because they think the monitor was malfunctioning when you hit the DGOS button because it would often go. That's something we do. We'd like use it for a while. Then we'd all hit DGOS buttons, and the teachers, if they didn't know anything about computers, they'd be like, oh, "Don't break the monitor now." But yeah, I have seen people go around warping tube TVs with speakers before, and it's one of those stupid things you did because like, let's try it, hope I don't break it. So yeah, we just crashed the party on Logan's stream. He's talking about Nintendo Logan589XP. He's talking about Nintendo Direct. Well, now we're looking at Tech Syndicate. It looks like they've taken a swing into gaming and retro stuff and more straight up electronics, and other tech related stuff that's not specifically hardware, which I think is smart. Logan's even talking about Morrowind. I'm subbed to this guy, despite the problems with Wendell years ago. You got to let bygones be bygones. So, yeah, last thing I watched was when he decided he was done reviewing hardware. So, let me just keep an eye on the chat here. So, I had a kid push the monitor off the desk because he thought it was broken. Oh, you little brat, you. No, I can't say anything. I went to a technical high school, so day one, the masonry folks started a fire because they built a chimney wrong. We had the fire alarms go off, and the fire truck showed up because there was a chimney fire in the masonry shop. But among us electronics nerds, the dumbest thing we did was we tricked a guy into cutting the hot wire with a pair of pliers. Never, ever, ever do that. That is very dangerous, and you're an idiot if you do it. Like we were back then. This guy was a moron. He had trouble remembering that black is hot, white is return path, red is alternate hot. So he went and, they unscrewed the faceplate, and they're like, hey man, black is ground, right? Cut it. And then a guy, the pliers flew across. It's a miracle that he didn't get injured by it. Thank you, installation. So it's a stupid idea. Don't do that. So, but he blacked out like a third of the school. And then when the teacher was like, why is the power out? He runs outside, because this was a theory classroom. You had your shop, and then you had a classroom for your theory, which was basically the textbook part of what you were learning, whether it was carpentry, electronics, automotive, the whole nine yards. So but there's doors. Like, I'm surprised they didn't set off alarms back then, but there's doors going out of the school. So when that happened, he ran outside through the door, ran around, tried not to be viewable in the windows, and came in on the other side of the shop because the teachers are heading over there to see what happened. So I think at some point somebody went back in there and just put it back together so nobody ever knew there was a problem, but they lost a screw on the electrical faceplate. So unless the maintenance folks found out about it later, it's like, yeah, it's, of course they'd have to bring in an electrician to replace the wire. So, but yeah, we it's those stupid things you do as teenagers. Like, and then you get industrial education involved, and it gets even worse. What do we have here? I know a lot of you folks are younger millennials, so I got to be careful what I talk about when I talk about things like, say, dubstep or something. Let's see here. A kid pushed a monitor off the desk because he thought it was broken. I used to remember in elementary school, Windows XP went out of support. School had old Dell computers running Pentium 4s. Pentium 4s were something you could fry an egg on. What TV are you getting to replace the old Samsung? A not-so-old Samsung. So, I mean, there are Samsungs out there that do 4K, smart TVs, really nice devices, but Samsung has been coasting a little lately, so there's some known issues with some of the latest entry-level Samsungs. The focus is, nowadays, I think there's a wider variety of brands that have really good quality versus the last time I did this. Basically, you wanted a major brand because the little Vizios and Walmart specials would cook in a year or so. Then hopefully you had a warrant, or maybe right after the warranty and stuff. I seriously thought about LG too, because I like the picture quality, but the truth of the matter is, this television, just like its predecessor, is primarily going to be a computer monitor. So I have to take into account what resolution do I want to run at, and the answer is 1080p. So 4K at this screen size would make everything microscopic, and from a gaming perspective, maybe, scaling technology will take care of the 1080p problem later on whenever I replace this one. But as it stands, the system can only do like 1080-30. There's part shortages for graphics cards, so it's harder to upgrade. It's harder to upgrade the graphics card to get closer to 4K 60. But right now, I'm getting CPU limited in some stuff. Kind of snuck in under the radar. Mostly, I notice it when I'm streaming, but it also happens to a lesser extent when I'm playing the game the normal way, with ESO and the like, never mind any newer games. Although ESO isn't exactly an old game with technology. It has DLSS, DLAA, TAA, the whole nine yards. Its graphical assets have been upgraded immensely since we were making fun of it back when it came out, that Skyrim's graphics were better. So, but right now I have everything close to max with 60 frames per second. I don't want to be going back to playing at 30 frames per second just to be in 4K. Just like the jokes I used to make about people jacking the resolution for like 10, 20 frames per second in an FPS back in the 2000s. It's like, I would rather have worse graphics with smooth motion than better graphics with no frame rates. And then once I get to the point where I can hit 60 FPS and something smooth like that, then we'll roll with that. So, yeah, that's a TV I'm getting to replace the old. That's a TV that I'm getting to replace the old Samsung. But the title is a reference to Counter-Strike. Bomb has been planted, terrorists win, counter-terrorists win, the ancestor of Valorant, and CSGO is still a thing, I think. I know it's one of those games that you could run on a potato, but it's, I think CSGO isn't, yeah, CSGO has to still be a thing. It's basically the ancestor of a lot of the battle royales nowadays. But I know Unreal Tournament got shelved when Fortnite started taking off. Something I gotta do later. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster coming out soon here, huh? Alright, let's see. Hashtag ad. No, you're only supposed to use hashtag ad if you actually have a paid promotion going on. But it's kind of turned into a little Twitch joke. Let's see. CSGO. Can I just type it into? No, I actually have to spell it out. Oh, it's free to play. Are you kidding me? So what do you... Oh, Prime status to upgrade it. Oh, so CSGO is... Whoa. So what exactly... I thought it was something you had to pay like $10 for. But then again, if Team Fortress 2 can go free to play, I don't see why CSGO can't. Especially when it's like the last of its kind of... It's a really basic shooter at this point. The original Counter-Strike and whatnot. I remember guys in college playing that. So... I just can't believe I can't believe CSGO is free to play now. I'm gonna have to check it out. I did get Apex Legends though, so one of these days I'll actually try some FPSs. But I got to see what the response time is on this new thing that's coming in. This monitor right here that I've been running into the ground, it was the equivalent of a 5 millisecond monitor in its day. The fastest gaming monitors were doing 2 milliseconds. So have a TV that could be set to do 5 and close to it. CSGO and PUBG are games that have gone free to play. Yeah, I remember when people were doing like the Testing Games channel was testing these things out. And I remember when the Testing Games channel was doing these and I was like, these are retail games for like $10, right? So now there's free to play options. Might have to check them out. I don't want to get into something like Fortnite. Any game that is a kiddie game is a game I don't want to play. I don't want someone crying and screeching to mommy if I get good enough to be better at them than that. There's actually a Twitch streamer, Heel Mike. He's pretty wild and crazy, but he was making fun of like getting insulted by a 12-year-old when he was playing Fortnite. So I'm like, you're like 27, closer to 30 than you are to being a kid. You might as well just play some more grown-up games. I don't think it would jive with him though. He's one of those guys that always wants to be hyper in order to be entertaining. So let's see here. What else? What other stuff do we have going on here? Check my Twitter. There's a couple things going on. Well, we know Pokimane actually decided to stay on Twitch. No surprise. I really thought she'd be more audacious. She's been presenting herself as some kind of entrepreneur. She actually is involved in a talent agency to try and develop content creators. And then she stays on Twitch, like take the safe... Well, I take the safe move. I thought she'd be audacious enough to give YouTube a try because of Valkyrie's success as a streamer on here. But we know from what we know about YouTube streaming, Valkyrie and Ludwig and the rest of these folks, number one, they brought audiences with them. That classic YouTube problem where the big folks bring an audience with them or have other ways of getting an audience, while people that only really do stuff on YouTube can't make progress. So that's an old problem going back decades at this point. But number one, they bring an audience with them. Number two, they're propped up by the platform. We know Valkyrie in particular has been getting some real serious sweetheart treatment and has been making, and that's been making it into news stories, quarterly numbers, the whole 9 yards as YouTube tries to develop YouTube gaming as some kind of alternative here. But the big thing with YouTube is that YouTube needs to understand that a lot of what YouTube is doing with piggybacking stuff off of the existing video technology. A little hot in here. Yeah, fans in total down fan mode here. Oh, actually, because the heat actually came on. Hold on. YouTube needs to realize a lot of what they have to offer streamers these days is piggybacking on their video technology, but there are some things that are going to require them to actually make some new things. Like, so let's say, Susan Wojcicki and the Susan Wojcicki gets what she's talking about. We get gifted memberships for YouTube memberships for partners. So that feature rolls out and becomes a thing. And then what are we going to... But Twitch will still have things like build spend currencies, other stuff like that. And it may sound like a stupid little gimmick, but it actually, one of the things that makes streams interesting versus just watching TV or movies is the real-time interaction. And when you can real-time interact besides chat, like say spend channel points and you have like a roulette that randomly changes something in the stream. Like Mackie Phoenix, for example, has an old lady impression that she switches to if somebody redeems it. But imagine if that was in a roulette wheel of sorts. You'd have to watch a lot of Asian streamers to see this, though, because streaming in Asia has a completely different culture associated with it. The extra technology and the earlier adoption of smartphone internet that is way more robust than what we have here in the States, plus all the other stuff that kind of piggybacks off of wireless, as well as I think even like internet TV cafes and stuff might be part of this. The way people approach and use computers and computer-like devices is completely different. One of the things you see with streaming, there's even a documentary on, I can't remember what the name was. I checked it out a while ago. But streaming over there is incredibly gamified, especially in China. And in a lot of other countries in the area are copying what the very successful Chinese companies are doing with some of their structures and stuff. So, I mean, you've watched, for example, like pretty much any streamer from Korea who's established probably has something that runs off of Toonation, roulettes, the whole 9 yards. And it's like an alternative to YouTube. Some of these people seem repulsed from the idea of doing daily vlogs, even as they complain about the couple of places in South Korea where their phones can't get signal. So they go try to IRL stream. You're like, I'm going to get my nails done at this salon chat, or yeah, right. It's going to be something else over there. We're going to go to this restaurant for lunch. Yeah, stick to the lowest common denominator. And then the stream F's in some street somewhere, and they're like complaining about it. And yeah. And then there's actually something I heard about last night. Last night, our time, daytime, their time. There are actually public establishments that, for privacy reasons, are banning live streaming because it is so mainstream that businesses have to make a decision about it. They will allow a daily vlogger to film a YouTube video, but you cannot be live because they want to absolutely make sure that everybody who's making content, because it's apparently more mainstream in the built-up areas over there, they want to make absolutely certain that everybody who's making content has the chance to fuzz the faces of people that don't want to be on camera. But it's not like really a lot of the editing is necessary. A lot of the IRL folks who are, where's a phone? There it is. A lot of the IRLs basically go around selfieing themselves everywhere they go until they get to some place so they can frame the shot and not show any people in the shot that don't want to be on camera. So they follow privacy rules for Twitch by doing it that way. But there are businesses taking it a step further. Apparently there's people that are doing like IRL streaming in America during the Ice Poseidon era, where they're like barreling into Walmart when live and like, hey, I'm gonna act like an idiot, get kicked out of the store, give me some donuts. Oh man. Well, let's see. Anything else in the chat here? By the way, for the people that aren't subscribed, the reason why chat is in sub-only mode is as an anti-spam measure. I'll get the I love you spammers and other folks the minute I put chat to full open. That's why you see chat in this. That's why you see chat in sub mode for myself and a lot of other folks. Don't forget, coming over from Twitch, subbing is free on YouTube. It's the equivalent of a follow over there. But that bit of human interaction that is required just gates out a lot of the spam and stuff along those lines that I would otherwise get. I bring this up because there's a lot of people that are watching my YouTube videos that aren't yet subscribed. So, and I don't intend on full opening the chat because literally every time I do it, there's somebody out there, there's some spammer that shows up, and we have to stop everything and delete the messages and stuff. So I don't want people getting scammed by spammers. Spammers, scammers, they have a lot in common with each other these days. Look over some Twitter stuff here. Yeah, I've been on Twitter for 10 years. Okay, whoop-de-doo. I kind of forgot that in February 2012, freshly laid off with not much better to do. I started a Twitter. It's like, a lot of people have Twitters these days. Let me see if I can find something to do with it. And the evolution of Twitter into kind of the social space, but also very prone to trolling and stuff like that, has definitely done something, that kind of stuff. I kind of keep Twitter very restricted, mostly to like quick opinions on things or sharing a few things here and there, Twitch clips or something along those lines. Streamer having a fit because she's trying to lose weight, but people are showing up with like Twitch clips of donuts and pizzas and stuff along those lines. There's a whole culture out there beyond YouTube these days. That's why I've been looking at Twitch and Discord and how people interact with all of that, because actually, put a calculator. Let me just add something so I can put a calculator on the screen when I do this, so you can have more stuff going on the screen instead of it being like full radio show. Although I know that especially the after the fact crowd is listening to this like some kind of radio type stuff. Let's see here. Add a source. I think it's a window. And the calculator's already there. Put that in then. Is it showing it? Hey, there we go. Hey, yeah, there we go. Actually, that would be over any alerts that go off. So let's just do this. So Twitch is up to 31 million viewers per day. 31 over a 30-day period gets that to about 930 million. Whereas YouTube has about 2 billion active users per month. So this really speaks to, why Twitch is in the position that it's in and why you need to pay attention. Even if you're like me and you don't like Twitch, you got to pay attention to it because it is definitely a major influencer in online media these days. We know YouTube has primarily been affected by TikTok and short form threatening regular length videos because of number one, low barriers to entry. All you need is a smartphone. You don't need very big ideas or editing. Just use an app on your phone, make the video, and it's vertical too, so other people can watch it on their phones, which they are on all over the world. That's actually one of the reasons, by the way, why I'm moving to, I want to have like commentaries and discussions filmed with streaming equipment. Because like you're hearing right now, and like the compliment I got from the naive guy that dropped by the other day, what you're hearing is actually a lot of compression, like it's going to go over the radio. And one of the reasons why radio stations use a ton of compression, I think we're done with the calc for now. One of the reasons why radios use a ton of compression is that way, no matter how crappy your speaker is, you can still hear whoever the talent is that's on the radio right now. So if it's AM, let's take AM, the most basic. If I'm an AM radio personality and it's Jay in the morning, I'm one of those overly happy, good morning, I'm acting just like your annoying parents. Tune into my morning show. We have prizes, giveaway, news, and weather. Morning radio. I never liked it when I was day shift because, let the freaking coffee kick in, you annoying morning people. I am a night owl. Let me wake up in peace. But no matter how crappy the speaker is on the other end, as somebody on the radio, you want people to be able to hear you. Duh. If you're talking about news, weather, or trying to entertain people like this, you need to be discernible no matter how crappy the equipment is on the other side. Well, I was thinking about that earlier. An AM radio, of course, had all the whininess, the limitations of the technology. FM radio had a lot more dynamic range and a lot more of a spectrum to it. But even FM radio was missing some highs and lows, which is why if you, back in the 80s and 90s, wanted to buy a sound system, you didn't let the salesperson demo the speakers by just playing the radio. You had to show up with a CD with some actual highs and lows on it and see if that could get played. Otherwise, you'd be missing frequencies. But in today's world, where lots of people are on phones and lots of people are going all over the place, I think, we talk about the loudness war with music. But when it comes to podcasty stuff, I really think you should, unless you want to artistically work with dynamic range and cater to people who are watching on big systems at home, you got to keep in mind, what if somebody is watching on a crappy smartphone speaker? There's a lot of people with Bluetooth and earbuds and stuff these days, but if you have an important podcast and somebody is just sitting in their room with just their phone, it's not linked up to anything, and all they're using is the built-in speaker, can they hear what you have to say? So I think that's more of a thing and a better thing with this OBS stuff than it could ever be with just a camcorder speaker. So the old way of vlogging where I just turned on the camera and talked. Let's see here. Is it still? Yeah, it's still plugged in. Yeah. Hey, speaking of which, guess what's done charging? Guess what's done charging, baby? Woo! Back in business. Ready for the tech videos that we're now going to be doing tomorrow with that new TV and the setup and all the other stuff. I also want to hook it up to Kilowatt because This TV, 100 watts minimum. And I know TV technology has gone a lot further since the heydays of this old thing. I don't know. I'm tempted to try and fix it, but I know it'll be very inefficient, so I don't want to use it all the time. It is basically an incandescent bulb. But you think, you know, built-in speaker, even on a Sony like this, which is pretty good for a built-in speaker, or you use a shotgun mic or something like that, or use OBS and you gain access to studio tools. It's tools that are normally more of a studio type thing, like compression, noise gates, the whole 9 yards, the stuff you can. I don't even have EQ. If I want to play with EQ, Logitech G can hook me up with that stuff. Watch this. I hope I don't break the stream by doing this. Blue voice. Check, check, check. Blue voice. Blue voice. Blue voice turned on. Am I still going through? Yeah. Broadcaster 1, but I think bass boost was actually better. Switch off to bass boost. I can hear the difference in the headsets already. Yeah, here we go. Logitech G, baby. So if I want to apply some EQ and a whole bunch of other stuff, this is how you do it. But I have problems with this being a little overproduced. Well, let's turn this off. All right, back to normal. It should be back to normal sound right now. Let me listen in on this. A little overproduced. Well, let's turn this off. All right, back to normal. Yeah, see, it sounded like it was running through too much software, and the software was turning into a crappy MP3. Mike, I hate how TVs these days go obsolete, like when the software in the TV goes out of date and doesn't support anything. Well, what happens if you take it off the what happens if you max out the firmware? So I don't even think of TVs as smart devices, and I might actually play with some apps, and I am going to set up audio return to be able to use my my AV system for when I'm watching stuff on apps only and not running computers. That's going to take me some time to get adjusted to, because this is a dumb screen right here. It has a tuner, and that's it. There is no smart TV stuff. So I'll probably put it on the internet, update its firmware and everything, and then just see how it goes. But I may just cut the internet from the thing completely, ignore its complaints about, I'm not getting updates, and then just use it as a dumb screen, because I already have stuff on everything else. I don't know, I guess this kind of makes my Chromecast obsolete now, doesn't it? Another reason why I'm doing this, let's say there's some really nice 4K display a couple of years from now. I get that, and I set that up, and I have a backup. Right now, if this thing gets struck by lightning, I'm down to a little 20-inch widescreen screen. I'll grab the one from the project area, and I'll be standing here looking at that little thing after looking at this big thing for so long. Can't lean back in the chair, can't watch a movie on the couch, all that lovely stuff. So, but I do have to figure out, once I get all the other furniture in, though, how can I fit in a 43-inch screen and still have all of my surround sound the way I want it? Because, yeah, we are talking a combination living room setup and computer desk here. I'm going to figure that out. But the big thing is, there's about $100 difference between 4K and 1080 right now. But I'm looking at seeing what I can do computer-wise later this year. We got to see if the shortages ever drop down, because I'm probably taking the 2060 with me to the next system. But I'm mostly looking to upgrade CPU, especially as the streaming era has just outed how much you need, basically the equivalent of a workstation 10 years ago, when you're running all kinds of apps. So, I mean, let's face it. I mean, if you're streaming, you're playing your game, and unless you want a second PC, you're playing your game. Maybe you have some music playing through a music player. You have OBS going, which can be about 15% of the processor because of all the effects you can put in. Because it's real-time processing your audio, your video, putting it all together, and then sending it out. So, I think the best thing that has happened with regards to my setup here is, I remember back when I built Monolith, people were like, oh my goodness, you're getting an i7? You don't need an i7. All you need is an i5. You only need four cores. You freaking idiot. You freaking moron, you. I will not go AMD. I'm going to see what Intel does with the next set of cores that come out. Content creation has a lot to do with that. One of the things that I've observed very late in the style, responding to Mike here, one of the things that I've observed in the in making YouTube videos is that Intel QuickSync is incredibly efficient compared to NVIDIA CUDA. So I want to preserve it's crazy that my Skylake processor actually makes for better looking videos by compressing the much higher quality at the same bit rate than anything else. So since a heavy focus of what I do is making videos, I will definitely be going Intel next processor. Ryzen's cool and all, but I figure if the big reason why I'm building a system now is because of the threat of Windows 11 and all of the processor requirements and stuff, then I'll probably run that into the ground. That'll be the longest lasting system I ever had. So Ryzen looks cool and everything, and they've got actually thinner wafers and everything. But I'm looking at things from a comprehensive perspective. It's not just about AMD's marketing. It's also about stuff other than gaming performance. In this case, video crunching. The fact remains, and I've noticed this with the assets for gaming streams, if I do anything with gaming, crunching via NVIDIA CUDA is worse substantially than Intel QuickSync. It might even be the case, though, that if it doesn't work well on the new system, that I just keep this old one around for crunching gaming footage and just run it past the end of the service state as just a video capture box. Just wipe everything out, use a local login, and just use it for making YouTube videos until I get something better. And that's it. Oh, look, bunch of people leaving because I said I'm not getting an AMD processor. Oh, you know, that's why I moved the focus of this channel away from tech videos all the time. Just look at this. Anyways, let's see. Is Logan done streaming yet? Oh, we'll move off into some other Twitch stuff later on anyway. So I've got some stuff on the board for this. Oh, look, the guy. How has this guy not gotten kicked off of YouTube yet? There's a guy that is basically impersonating Peter Griffin. And I remember somebody getting a copyright strike from Fox, 20th Century Fox, because he was impersonating Peter Griffin too much. So now there's a comedian that does it full time, and that's his channel. Oh, welcome back. All right, yeah, I quit being such a douche about that stuff. Just make content and have some fun with it. Videos. See, according to this, he's still live, or maybe YouTube hasn't updated in a bit. Let's see. Thoughts on the Super Smash? Oh no, it was just slow to update. The Nincast Season 6. Streamed 21 minutes ago, 47-minute discussion. Yeah, well, I wish Logan all the best with that format, but there's a reason why I walked away from it. So I don't know if he's going to make the change in a couple of years. So he often does stuff that I do later on, but there's plenty of reasons why I decided to get more informal with these things. Let's see. Twitter.com. Load it up. See if we can get that loaded on YouTube. Twitter.com. Minx more. There is a reaction thing that I want to do, and that's why I don't use this browser. Just got a pop up. Hey, log in. Flashing crap on the screen. Let's see. Oh, no. It wasn't this. It was her main account. I say what I say about Twitch for a reason. Let's see. Load up a YouTube video with this and get ready for some kind of reaction type stuff. Yeah, everything is about to change. There it is. Let's mute the tab. It is muted. I just want to load that up on YouTube. And play the ad to support. Oops. That's one loud trailer. Let's remute the tab. Go Gadget Firefox. Hope she doesn't have mid-rolls. Oh, it's only 7 minutes. So she can't. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, JustaMinx is a Twitch streamer who is banned right now for saying the term cracker in a pejorative manner, or at least the context, according to Twitch staff, was able to conclude and stuff like that. Let's see what else we have here. What are how annoying Windows 10 is going to get once it goes end of life? Good question on that. My prediction is still what it has always been. Windows 10 is the new Windows XP. People are not going to let go of it. There's going to be pressure on Microsoft to extend the life cycle, and Microsoft is going to learn once again, just like they did with Windows XP sticking around and then Windows 7 sticking around, that when they make a good product, people want to get as much as they can out of it before upgrading, and you'd better make something really good to make people want to get rid of the old stuff. If you haven't done that, you fail. Speaking of which, one of the tech projects I got to get around to is installing Windows 11 on that laptop that I picked up, specifically because it would be my introduction to Windows 11. and we'll just cross-reference that. Of course, Nerdovo. So the tuxedo thing back there, that's probably going away. Probably just going to put tuxedo off to the side because it's more important for me to be getting involved in Windows 11 so I can cross-reference the differences between the two. So let's see. You know what? YouTube's concurrent counter might just be bugged. I often see it drop up and down and stuff like that. I've seen it go from like 5 to 0 to 5 to 0 to 5 to 0. So who knows at this point? Anyways, let's set up for Win 10 is buggy right now on AMD still. Yeah, well, this is an Intel Mobile i5 laptop. I'm gonna stick with just Intel. There's always a corporate element to a lot of, especially since Monolith has done so well with the Skylake i7. So, of course, as I predicted, when Ryzen came out, the first gen Ryzens, which by the way are now officially too old for Windows 11, when Ryzen came out, it was basically a workstation processor. It wasn't worth switching to. I would basically just be changing. I would change the architecture of the processor without gaining anything and blow a few $100s in order to switch everything over. So it wasn't really worth it. All right, let's load up this video here. Well, she's not really a streamer that I'm all that fond of. So do I even really need to play this video, or can I just do audio from a video with this kind of stuff? Because I know she doesn't actually use any video. Does she use audio from? Does she actually use any music? I mostly want my music to drown out her music, but let's see if we can get to some key points here. The video is called "Everything is About to Change." Everything is about to change, and let's see. Well, no, I think it'll suffice. Did I watch all of this earlier? Because she has a really hard time staying on. She has a really hard time staying on topic. So she's too used to Twitch streaming where that doesn't matter. It matters immensely on YouTube. The thing is, if I go into react mode with this and I play too much of it, then it'll fire off on her DMCA control panel. So, and then she might be able to just do a takedown if she doesn't like what I have to say. So, oh, that's right. I muted the tab, not just the app.
Plant sushi in a trash bag to eat the sushi out of together.
Okay, yeah, she's talking about the shock value thing. I think that's, as much as I would really like to play this, I think it would just drag way too long. And she almost but not quite played the mid-roll game where you try to get your YouTube video to 8 minutes so you can put mid-rolls in it. Like, just say what you have to say. You know, just say what you have to say. It's not, I mean, people, if they're interested, your best people will binge watch you if you're not wasting time. So instead of making 8-minute videos by any means necessary to shove in a mid-roll, do pre-post roll on some short things and people bounce between them. You know, like YouTube Shorts. You know, that thing that YouTube's focus is pretty much shifted towards big time. Hey, by the way, for any of you folks that see this or are seeing this right now, I will be using YouTube Shorts when I get this set up to where I'm making videos with this setup on a regular basis. I am going to use YouTube Shorts to answer questions from comments and chat in quick 1-minute responses. That'll be how I use YouTube Shorts. So let's see. Oh, according to this, everyone just left again. Can I trust YouTube's numbers at all? So, all right, computers. We've probably been demonetized anyways. YouTube systems are so paranoid about that stuff. Fire that all back up here. Let me go check that channel content thing. I wanted to put this on the screen, but then I remembered, yeah, she's a Twitch. Minx is a Twitch streamer, so she's probably doing the YouTube video like a Twitch streamer. And not, oh, very surprising there. Yeah, so I don't know if I want to play games with Content ID to show this, but she's sitting around like ratty clothes anyways, because that's her persona. So she's like the brusque lady next door. She's from Ireland too, so you know, if you like the whole accent and whatnot, she's probably worth definitely tossing a sub to, because she's banned on Twitch. But
Shape of comedy online, hence why all my breakdown bits, why I will plant sushi in a trash bag.
All right, that's where I'm at. I think the problem here is I don't want to hear all of this beating around the bush. I wanted to get to straight to the point. And the main point that I heard when I listened to this earlier is that Twitch told her that if she gets banned again, it's permanent. And it's a pain in the neck. You know what? Let's just risk it. React mode. There we go. Everything is about to change. Now, she looks like she's stoned. So, let's see here. We cut this down. I want there to be music playing in the background, but it doesn't have to be very... No, let's not bother. We could always just put a link in there. We could always just put a link in there, too. We'll put it over on Twitter. Actually, yeah, that's probably the best option, too. Share. Put that on Twitter with 5 thinking faces. We can all go back and check it out later. The main point that Minx brings up is that she's gonna... It sucks when you're primarily a Twitch streamer. And number one, you can't make any money, obviously. And YouTube is peanuts because you don't have a YouTube presence. You don't have a robust YouTube presence or other stuff going on like that. But the biggest thing is, you know, you have the paranoid people in charge at Twitch who are hypersensitive, and they're responsible for a lot of the criticisms of the platform in terms of the way they discipline their users. But let's not forget YouTube's advantages, that the ratios of the revenue ratios for content creators is better on YouTube than it is on Twitch with their 50-50 splits and crap. But I'm surprised she hasn't really put all that together and added everything up and, you know, connected all the dots on this. I'm surprised she hasn't connected the dots on this to realize that she's setting herself up for her own disappointment by being a streamer like this. Because, you know, you have highly sensitive people running this platform that'll cut your revenue off just like that when you're a full-time content creator. And then you are persona non grata. You can't even appear in other people's streams because you don't want them getting banned for knowingly advertising a suspended streamer. This is the part where Twitch goes off the deep end, because they hold their creators accountable for what other people do. I can actually show this too, but I took a screenshot of this because I don't want to go and make it look like I'm encouraging sending false reports for a Twitch channel. One of the things you can report Twitch streamers for is not moderating their chat. But what did you all see when you came into this chat here on YouTube? I've got it on screen. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Why? Because chat messages and comments are subject to YouTube's rules, as opposed to holding the streamer accountable for what their chat is doing. So it's nice that there's a system where individuals are responsible. And there isn't a case where somebody goes in, they say a whole bunch of inappropriate stuff, and then somebody goes in, they say a bunch of inappropriate stuff, then they turn around and report them for not moderating their chat to try and catch them in that window and get them suspended. So it's great that, you know, there's a little bit more professionalism here. But then you remember the ratios too. 70-30 for channel memberships, which if I get back into this tech stuff, that'll be when we turn the membership stuff on. 70-30 for any memberships as opposed to 50-50 for subs on Twitch. And then the ad ratio is where YouTube blows Twitch out of the water. Twitch has static CPMs, which look good if you're not established in content creation or marketing. Like, oh yeah, for every thousand impressions, we give you a couple bucks. And you're like, that sounds cool, until you go over to YouTube and you learn about dynamic CPMs that are based on what your video is about. If you make videos about stuff that is commanding higher prices when selling ads right now, the CPMs will be higher and the ad revenue will be higher as well. So then you have this other stuff. So then you have the other stuff with the ratio. 55-45. The ad ratio on YouTube right now is 55-45 in favor of the creator. So YouTube isn't even getting the majority of the ad revenue versus whatever Twitch is doing. Should we react to this should we react to this thing or not? So I can tell you the biggest problem I've had with Twitch streamers is that they're used to a culture where staying on topic is not a thing. You can literally just stall in front of the camera and, you know, people will still sub. You'll still get your regular revenue from the tier 1s, 2s, and 3s and stuff like that. And of course, the donos and other stuff that's more instant is more like tips. Kind of like if you work in as a bartender or work in a restaurant, except you don't have some crap-ass $2 minimum wage. Based on how well you do, you can basically create your own base pay. And for these bigger streamers and stuff that have like 1,000 concurrents and stuff, and you know, once they get into hundreds of subs, they're hitting minimum wage. Thousands of subs, they're hitting middle class and upper class incomes here. So just should we really do this or not? Or did everybody leave and I got like 4 bots in the chat now? Also, we can always take the discussion in any direction based on stuff in the chat, like I've been doing all along. So, yeah, the TV's on the way, but that just started the discussion. Literally, we can pretty much go in any direction that we want. Otherwise, I'm going to pull a Ludwig and probably put this on screen. That's kind of a great example of this. Switching it up. Follow me on Twitch. No, she's not really my kind of content creator that I watch a lot, though. Does she ever get to the point, or, we could do, we can give her some digital caffeine. Set the playback speed to 125 and center the video properly. Let's go into react mode and play it at 1 1/4 speed, and we'll add more digital caffeine if we need to. So let's see. I'm kind of forgetting how to do this because I haven't done this in a while. This over on the screen number 2 here. I don't think she's playing any music, but we do want some background music in the background anyways. Set the background music to like 5. Let's put like 5% or so. Or let's make it like we're on a Zoom call. Let's go to react mode. There we go. Let's play this at like 1 1/4 speed, and hopefully it's more to the point.
Hello, YouTube. It's me again. And if you don't know who I am, or
Ow! Can you put some kind of low filter on that $300 microphone? It just went straight to my headphones, Minx. Ah! That's the Shure SM7B, by the way. Like, everybody has those once you get up to a certain size.
if you're a new person clicking on this video, I'm JustaMinx. I'm an Irish content creator living in America right now. But I think it's time to talk about changes that are coming, huh?
So, no. YouTube Content ID is going to pick up on that. Bottom line, she's banned. She's banned on Twitch. 1 more is a perma, and she talks about how terrible it is that she has to go around and try not to show her face on screen and stuff along those lines. You know what would be better? What if we showed the crappy policy and let... All right, I can actually Google this because I'm that used to it. Let's link everything up to Chrome. Knowingly advertise, I'll bet any money, without even saying Twitch. This is result numero 1 in the results. No, it isn't. It's Google Ads. What to do when your Facebook account is suspended. Let me put it in quotes. No, it's still talking about Google Ads. Why is it talking about Google Ads? Because Google is promoting their own stuff. Ah, okay. Once I scroll down a little past Google promoting their own accounts, promoting their own services, I get to the Twitch community guidelines. Oh, boy. Let's see here. Put it into browser mode. Where is that? Or probably do react mode. It's in the same spot as the YouTube video would be. Here is the big issue with Minx, and one of the big reasons why. Oh, look. Wrong window, you piece of crap. It's looking for Tech Syndicate. Suspension evasion. Oh, this billboard's quite nicely. Woo! Good. All suspensions are binding until expiration or removal upon successful appeal. Any attempt to circumvent an account suspension or chat ban by using other accounts' identities or appearing on another user's account will also result in additional enforcement against your accounts up to an indefinite suspension. The YouTube version of this only applies to you using another account to circumvent getting live streaming disabled on your channel. But on Twitch, if you accidentally walk into someone else's stream, it could be interpreted as suspension evasion and you get indefinitely suspended instead of Minx, I believe, is on a 7-day ban right now. In addition, it is prohibited to use your channel to knowingly feature or advertise a suspended user. We understand there may be instances where suspended users may appear on your stream due to circumstances beyond your control, such as through third-party gaming tournaments. We expect you, though, to make a full good faith effort to remove them from your broadcast, mute them, or otherwise limit their interactions with your stream. This is where Twitch goes too far. Because, let's say, I mean, if you were a gaming site and you had somebody that was doing bad stuff in Fortnite and they got indefinitely suspended, that's one thing. But since Twitch has gotten big, they now have basically, they have a they have expansion categories now. So what that means is that now there can be somewhat, they're pretty strict with their rules on what you can say about others, but there can be a commentary scene on Twitch now under talk shows and podcasts or just chatting or any of the categories where it would be appropriate. So now that you have people doing more chat streams as opposed to gaming all the time, what if somebody wants to talk about, say, lessons learned from, say, Ice Poseidon getting permanently banned, or Gideon getting permanently banned, or Indie Fox getting permanently banned? So what if someone wants to actually do some legitimate commentary about something that happened on Twitch? Why are they unable to do that without getting their own channel in trouble like that? That's the issue. Not the first time with them either. Let me see if I can Google some results here for some other. So that's suspension evasion. But let me see if I can report Twitch isn't moderating their chat. That's one of the things you can report somebody for. How to file a user report. There we go. How to manage harassment in chat. See if we can load this up in their other stuff here. Not moderating. No, it's not showing up there. It's just giving me how to report someone. The report menu, though, has that as an option, though. Let me see if it's still in there. How to manage harassment. You can block users, Use the ignore feature, block other users, turn on Hey, by the way... Close that out. Hey, by the way, you know, what we did with talking about this whole Minx thing is TOS on Twitch. So... people want to know why I'm using the Twitch channel as a secondary channel and not really trying to get past Twitch affiliate. I found out about all this stuff after getting it, and I'm like, never mind. So, we could go through the rest of it and risk Content ID getting on our ass. But the gist of it all, and we have the link over on Twitter at twitter.com/multimediajay. The gist of it all is that she feels like she's like on thin ice. Minx feels like she's on thin ice. And look, platforms have consequences. Where you decide to amount to something has consequences. So, okay, here's the thing though. She's like, oh yeah, one more suspension, it'll be a perma. Okay. So one more suspension and you are now completely and totally persona non grata. People are not allowed to talk about you and you can't appear on stream. You can't play video games with Twitch streamers. You are out. Like you got like exiled from somewhere or something. I think Minx should run out the rest of her contract with bland milquetoast streams just to fulfill the hours removed and then get out. And Twitch, I mean, I don't care if she ends up having to get a job or something and streaming part-time or something, but fundamentally, you know, if she were, the thing is, it's just not worth it to risk getting in trouble on Twitch. So I used to think YouTube had a problem with this, with some of the policies that YouTube has rolled out, but Twitch is way worse. This is hands down the uglier side of Twitch. And this is one of the things I gotta, like, put together like a script or something. Make some kind of commentary video talking about why the suspended user policy and whatnot does so much damage. Because as we found out with YouTube and some of the policies that YouTube has rolled out, if you intimidate creators too much through the system alone, it hurts what they make and how interesting things are in terms of watching. Finding stuff to watch. And then you wonder why, I can't find high quality stuff anymore. Yeah, because people are too afraid to make it because they don't want to risk losing everything. So, all right. Well, we do have the stream status messages that can tell us if Content ID is getting on our ass. There's a warning message. But the thing is, though, she talks about other random stuff that I think would just kill the discussion if we did all of that. Right. Somebody else say something in chat to send this off in a different direction. Otherwise, we're going to load that up. Anybody who is not a robot. Hey, I said I was going to take these. I was going to take these in a direction where it's more about talking about stuff. Let's give the latency time to send everything out and give people time to do stuff here. YouTube, load that up. getting an ad for something on HBO. Load that up. If I don't see something come up, though, we're going to do a full reaction to that, and hopefully Content ID doesn't flip out. But the thing is, though, if there's too much of a content match, then Minx would get notified. She could actually see my opinion anyways. So I've responded to Devin Nash videos before on stream as well, so we'll just have to see what the difference is. But the thing is, with Devin Nash, I know Devin Nash wants to be publicized. It's all part of him and his self-branding thing that he does, especially with him and his business. All right, how about we just load it up? Let's load it up and go for broke on this. It's mute, because I'm getting an ad for Gucci now. No YouTube, no Google robots. Just, no, it's a perfume. Google robots. Just because I'm watching a female YouTuber does not automatically mean I am interested in buying perfume. Demographics fail. You could show me like an Axe body spray commercial or something like that. All right. Hey, try Hulu for... Isn't Hulu a competing service? Stop. Okay, you know what? Let's go for broke here. And how about we just set it up for debate mode and hope she doesn't go off the screen. Debate mode was set up for... It's not linked at all right now. All right, let's see if we can just get her into a window on the screen here and do debate mode. She doesn't really move the camera anyways. Let's get this done here. If anybody wants to interrupt, we can always go off on another tangent after this is done. But web browser. That's really what this is going to be about. Kind of like a Harris Heller type of stream there. Okay, so, haha, totally wrong. Let's see. Nope, that's not it. Alt button. I just popped open the start menu. Let's make it really small. Let's make it really small and set it up like we're on a Zoom call. That's the web browsers. That's too much. Take this here, set this here. All right. Let's do like a debate mode response to what's going on. There we go. Front and center. And whoops, what's that? That's an overlay, isn't it? All right. Hopefully this is isolated enough that it won't trip Content ID, and we can actually do a proper reaction to this. So OBS 2, screen number 2. Let's actually respond to this point by point.
Hello, YouTube. It's me
Increase
again,
the speed.
and
Increase the playback
if you don't
speed to
know who I am, or
125.
if you're a new person clicking on this video, I'm JustaMinx. I'm an Irish content creator living in America right now.
New England coffee mode activated.
But I think it's time.
You know what I need to do? I need to make something that says debate mode and put it up in the corner, as well as react mode, browser mode. So anybody who doesn't understand what it is that I'm doing here can actually have an effing clue what I'm doing. This is how I react to stuff. I put a little effort into it. I don't just play the video with me off, with me like overlapping the corner of it. I want there to be a reason for people to go watch the original video. And part of that is that I crop things and, keep things small like this. But let's continue. This will probably get picked up, and she'll probably see it on her creator dashboard on YouTube, and she'll be able to hear this opinion with all of this. It is just opinions, though. She can run her channel and her online presence with her thousands of concurrents on Twitch most of the time any way she wants.
Talk about changes that are coming, huh? Because I'm honestly losing my mind being banned, not talking to my screen. But look, here's more videos. Which
is cool, because it's a better attitude than being suspended. A lot of people I knew when we were growing up were suspended from school. Like, oh, it's a vacation. I grew up with a lot of people that were like that. So it's, hope I don't freeze frame her a little too much, but I do need to make that debate mode thing. Put that up in the corner. We'll do that after the stream, because this looks weird. It just says MultimediaJay in the corner, but those are easy to make. Oh, maybe we could do that on stream. That's part of what I want to do, is behind the scenes stuff, but I would have to pop open the video editor to do that.
But there's some things that I just need to talk about really quick, and some changes that will be coming to myself and my channel in the future. So first things first, I'm not a comedian. I'm not a comedian.
You're not a comedian? What? How on earth is that? How on earth is that true? It's like, I think I've seen actors in movies who have the same twisted sense of humor that you have. How is that not? How is that? How is? I can't even at this point. Like, no. I mean, you just have a weird sense of humor. That doesn't mean you're not a comedian. Maybe not a professional comedian, but neither am I. And people are still entertained by my weird sense of humor.
Comedian, okay? For 2 reasons.
Forgot what you were going to say. Welcome to YouTube. Edit that out.
Actually, I don't even have 2 reasons. I don't know why I said that.
Oops.
But the thing is, I try to do some form of shape of comedy online. Hence, why all my breakdown bits. Why I will plant sushi in a trash bag to eat the sushi out of, to get that either gasp, like shock value from you guys, or the attention thing, or just something that's even so dumb it's somehow funny.
Well, there's a problem with that on YouTube as well. And YouTube's been kind of getting on the warpath about that because people have lost their skepticism of the internet. And that's one of the things I lament the most, because it means there's going to be stupid rules to protect people from themselves that's going to crush free speech and free expression with this stuff. So, yeah, I know. People see stupid stuff on the internet and somehow they get the idea they should try to do it. And the rest is history. Seriously.
And in that sense, and with that, I do say things that are walking the fine line, like cracker. Like cracker.
Yes, you mean that thing you eat, like Ritz or saltines or matzos or something? No, you left enough context in there that some wokester at Twitch could be like, huh, that's the slur version of it. I don't know. But she's tweeted some things since then that don't make her look good on her second account. So it's just like, look, you know that Twitch's admins are super sensitive, like the tiniest thing offends them and you get suspended. Look, now it's just the internet in general is going in that direction, but Twitch is at the forefront. Why? So, you know, if you've ever seen the movie The Blues Brothers, there's a point in it where Jake and Elwood, 2 blues musicians, go into like a country pub. And I'm not talking like it's probably the algorithm or bot them. No. Twitch doesn't have, no, Mike, Twitch does not have the technology that YouTube has. They don't have all that fancy stuff. There are reviewers on the trust and safety team that review stuff. And let me just give you an example. Go back to full cam for this. So doesn't look like she's pinching her nose all the time. Let me just go over this. Let me just go over some examples of why discipline towards others has intimidated me out of pursuing a further Twitch presence. First, there are YouTubers. It's bad enough that established YouTubers going over to Twitch are treated as if they've never made content before, and they just get, you know, if you're already established on YouTube, especially with YouTube now having streaming and short form, why would you want to become a Twitch streamer? You know, the platform is smaller. I mean, maybe not as smaller as it used to be, but it's small enough that the monthly active users it still keeps it out of the top list that we look at on Statista and stuff like that. But let me just give you some examples. There was a guy, oh no, excuse me. If you've ever watched any of that We Eat Weird Food channels on YouTube, you might know about, what were those guys called? I haven't watched that. Cult Moo is the one I still watch. The other, Reckless Eating, that's right. Matt Zion from Reckless Eating decided to become a Twitch streamer. He got too into his video game and he cracked a joke about killing someone, like if someone playing a first-person shooter might do in the heat of the moment. Twitch took him seriously and indefinitely suspended him for months. He had to appeal to get his account back for threatening someone. Yeah, Epic Mealtime, I remember them too. That goes way back. Good one, Mike. Yeah, so it's just then there's also, I forgot this guy's name completely because I just totally didn't watch him because he's totally not someone I'd watch. He does shock content, but like gross out stuff. He basically took like a bunch of like gravy and ketchup and mayonnaise and other stuff, and he filled a swimming pool with all of these condiments from like you buy like from a grocery store or Sam's Club or whatever, Costco probably, you know, those gigantic things of mayonnaise or ketchup. He filled a swimming pool with a bunch of that stuff and then sat in it for content. He was suspended for bodily fluids, even though it was all food that he was bathing in. Indefinitely suspended. Took him months to get his account back because unless you're a large partner like Minx with a partner manager, your communication with Twitch is going to be glacially slow. Even like off the cuff communications. One of the things I give YouTube a thumbs up for, I have actually gotten responses from Team YouTube on Twitter. when I've asked questions in the Twitter sphere. I have never once heard back from @Twitch support. Never. Major, major differences here. So, no, algorithms and bots do that crap on YouTube. Twitch does not have that. They're way more primitive. They have algorithms, but they're weird. You can tell they're less refined because they're weird. I mean, just to give you an idea, here's one of the weirdest things I've seen from Twitch's algorithms. Yugi TV is a streamer that I know of and watch, because she often broadcasts when I get home from work in the middle of the night, my time. Another streamer, Yummy, looks very similar to her and has a similar sounding voice. She was algorithmically recommended to me. Way smaller, like 2 to 3 digit concurrence on Twitch. But, she's worked on her technique. She's gotten a better phone. She's gotten better at being on camera. She even took a Las Vegas trip a couple of months ago when it became this fad for all these overseas streamers to get out of Korea for a couple of months. They came over and they all went to Vegas and played the slots and went to other touristy places in parts of the country that were less locked down. It was cool and all. But the thing is, that was an algorithmic thing. Let's see. There was another one, too. Here's another weird thing that Twitch does with algorithms through their more primitive technology. I have been recommended streamers because they did collabs with a streamer I don't even watch. But because... Well, I'm going to have to say streamer A, B, and C for this. So let's try this. Streamer A, I watch. Streamer B, I don't watch. Streamer C, recommended through the algorithms. Streamers A and B do a collab at streamer B's place. Streamer B and C do a collab, and because the streams look similar visual-wise, I get recommended streamer C, even though I don't watch streamer B. So that's... And if you want to see other groaners like that, Facebook has had some weird algorithm stuff before. But no, YouTube is the tech leader with algorithm technology. YouTube is way more refined. These other folks trying to play catch up will do some pretty bizarre stuff and things along those lines. Not react. We want to go debate mode for this. We don't need to see the rest of her messy room at that streamer house. All right, let's proceed here.
So I need to change myself, first of all. I'm going to be trying to... Here I am on the line right now. I'm going to try to walk before the line. What that means for me as a content creator kind of freaks me out because I feel like my whole thing is, what the hell? Shock value. Literally.
Yeah, but the problem is shock value gets people to do lots of bad things and it's not very popular anymore. There are some channels I know that I used to watch that don't get hardly the views anymore because the algorithms are crushing them. Because YouTube doesn't want to be, held liable for... Think like TikTok fads and all the stupid stuff that's making TikTok look bad right now. Yeah, YouTube doesn't want that. Not in their house, even though they're basically making a TikTok competitor. Or maybe that's the reason. They want to have something that is a TikTok competitor, but doesn't have the drawbacks of those stupid TikTok challenges. So anybody over the age of common sense should know not to do stupid stuff you see on TikTok. But unfortunately, people just don't have the skepticism of the internet to do that.
I'm always acting like a gobshite in order to...
Is that some word that I don't know? I'm going to have to bust out the dictionary for that one. So there might be some UK slang or Ireland slang that I don't know about. I'm just going to say that that's some kind of word that means dumbass, but I'll look it up later.
Get some type of click, whatever. But as we all know, this is my second Twitch ban. Meaning, and after having a talk with Twitch, my third one will be permanent.
So this is interesting because Indie Fox had like 6 bans before she was gone for good. And how many bans is... Hold on a second. This is one of those things you can look up on Twitter because Twitter is so searchable. Let's head off to Twitter and put the music back on while we look this up. So let me see this. JustaMinx with 1,000 concurrents. JustaMinx with 1,000 concurrents is being threatened with 3 strikes, you're out. Streamer bans. No. At streamer bans, Amaranth. What is Amaranth up to? Oh, crap. I need to use advanced search. Now, let's use it. Maybe I should make a query out of this and make a tweet of it. From these accounts, at streamer bans, mentioning these accounts, at Amaranth. I have Amaranth blocked because I got sick of her antics. But 5 bans. Yeah, this is this has been unbanned? No, that's the unbanned notifications. Let's see. Yeah, so 5 bans. What was it? 6 bans or something with that sort of thing. No, and this is a community guidelines issue with her, with JustaMinx. This is a community guidelines issue with her. It's not DMCA or anything of that sort. But yeah, Amaranth banned 5 times. How about we punch in Alinity's name here? That would be at Alinity Twitch. There we go. Let's see. They're not counting things correctly with her. That's right. So skip that. Who's another person that gets away with it? The Pokemane's only had that DMCA one, so I think Amaranth is the big one. Yeah, so 5 bans for, well, she is the most watched, well, she's the most watched female creator on Twitch, but not without a crap ton of work. Sully Gnome, over the past 30 days, what exactly has she been doing? Because I know that Amaranth is a very, very, very hard worker. She's a workaholic who's streaming pretty much all the time. It's not just about the looks. She's like, so let me just yeah, this is why I don't make fun of Amaranth, even though I don't approve of the way she does stuff. Switch browsers here. We'll come back to that other one. We'll come back to the other one later. Here's Amaranth Sully Gnome. 350 hours streamed over the last 30 days. Bust out the calculator. It's 160 hours. It's 350 divided by 4. 87 hours per week. She is working like an executive, being live all the time. 87 hours per week divided by, if she does 7 days, like 12 hours a day. Like, she is just live all the freaking time. Always, on stream, always doing stuff. So, and look at these numbers. Wednesday the 9th, 4 hours. Yay, she gave herself a break. 14 hours, 11 hours, 13. This is massive overtime for, the equivalent of a regular job with Amaranth. She's infamous for this. People are wondering, how the heck she does it. But she's also incredibly business savvy, by the way. So she's incredibly business savvy and does a lot of investment stuff, but she hides that on a second Twitter. So let me see. In comparison, let's also check out XQC Cow. Keep forgetting a lot of people have XQC sounding names. 294 versus, okay, so even XQC, known for grind streaming as much as he does and being one of the most popular streamers on the platform, streamed less in the last 30 days than Amaranth. Yeah, this is one of the reasons why people say what they say. This is one of the reasons why people say what they say about, be nice to women on Twitch, because a lot of times they put in the hours, put in the effort, and then they don't get taken seriously because people assume, oh, it's just their looks. Are you sure of that? But do we live in an environment where women can actually be treated for being good at something or working hard or something along those lines, or is it always cosmetic fluff that rules the day? But that's a completely different discussion. Let's get back to this reaction, which means stop the jazz for a bit so it's not interrupting anything. She's not playing any background music that I know of anyways. But if we get an ad, we'll give her the ad impression because we definitely know that she needs the money.
Which is terrifying. Terrifying. I live in this content house and it's so weird because I'm not able to, I have to creep around the house in case someone's live streaming. I could get them banned where...
Actually, you know what she should do? She should dress up like Cousin It from the Addams Family. Like, have like some full like thing with like 2 holes to look through or something. I mean, that could be her joke. It won't look like her at all, and that's the point. And as long as people don't acknowledge that it's Minx in the costume, then she won't have to worry about this kind of stuff. So nobody has to say anything. She could just wear like, make it so that she's completely unrecognizable, and this won't be an issue. But this is the reason right here why we're doing this reaction, specifically because of this. This is why we're doing this reaction right here. Yeah, disguise would work. Twitch goes too far in how they treat people. Twitch goes too far. Twitch goes too far, and it went by doing this, they seem to not understand the internet. Hey, are my levels right? Let me check out. Let me just open up Logitech G one more time. It needs to be at 70% on the gain on the Nano. Yeah, 7100, good. I'm just hearing things differently because my ears are blocked. Oh, I'm not getting sick. Supposed to go back to work next week. I don't know. But anyways, the way you behave in chat, you're warned to behave yourself when you come to a YouTube chat, but you can report a Twitch streamer if they're not moderating their chat enough. That leaves them vulnerable to people that go in, do stuff that's TOS in the chat. They go in, they do stuff that's vulnerable, that's TOS. Then people can turn around and mass report them to get them suspended. So all because you as an individual, what's this? We getting flickers here? Let's go back to full cam. All this because you as an individual, reload live control room. All of this because you as an individual, okay, good. Is it loading back up? Yeah. I had a live control room start throwing glitches here. I just want to make sure I can see the readout if it gives me a warning to stop doing this because of Content ID. Now, that would be an automated system, but anyways. Yeah, so the whole situation, which YouTube has that feature as opposed to Twitch. So does Facebook, by the way. You get a warning before you get knocked offline if there's like stuff that's detected that belongs to someone else. But in this case, it's a reaction, and I know that she's a Twitch streamer and she does lots of reacting to YouTube videos, so we're kind of flipping things the other way here. But anyways, Twitch goes, wow, my ears are blocked. Now that's better. Now I gotta turn the volume down. Cool. Yeah, so Twitch takes things a step further than YouTube does. And so you are responsible for what you post in chat and in comments. You can actually have actions taken against your account for the comments you leave on people's YouTube videos if people report them. The community guidelines apply to everything you do. But on Twitch, you can report someone for not moderating their chat enough. So there's an element of Twitch holds a streamer responsible for what other people are doing that the streamer can't really control unless they catch it and ban them for it. And even then, what happens if they program bots to keep making accounts and flooding their chat with TOS stuff? I can tell you, YouTube already has a deterrent to that. I can shut chat completely off midstream. So it is not a mandatory feature to actually have chat going. I can shut off chat, I can shut off comments midstream and shut all that down if it came to that. But fundamentally, I don't think it should, because YouTube warns you when you go into a chat to follow the community guidelines. And the same thing too with the banned streamer rule. If you're in a house with somebody who's been suspended from Twitch and they're obviously not trying to be like, hi, they're obviously not trying to, first of all, if they do engage in ban evasion and they walk onto somebody else's stream and wave at the audience, like, hey, remember me? I'm back. They should be the ones that get in trouble, not the streamer. But there's nothing at all that clarifies that. Twitch just has the carte blanche rule about suspended streamers. So if you get banned for anything on Twitch, it's the same thing too at YouTube. I think if you lose your YouTube channel, you still have the ability to purchase things with your personal account or, watch videos and stuff like that. You only lose the ability to make stuff, as opposed to on Twitch, where you're basically suspended from all the services and you have to, not even be signed in. So you go on Twitch as like a 18-year-old fresh out of high school. You do stuff that's TOS because you don't have a clue what you're doing because you're still pretty adolescent. You get perma-banned, and then like 10 years later, you want to watch people play a game you like. Then what? Take part in the chat. Just don't stream again. Something along those lines. It's just there's a lot of stuff that Twitch has been able to get away with because they're big and they have a lot of inertia. But it's just no. And now Minx is up against that. But she's established with like 1,000 concurrents on Twitch, and she's in pretty decent shape as a streamer. But she's got her eggs in a very, very, very sensitive basket, so to speak. I know Easter's a couple months away. It's February and Valentine, but let's start making. As long as I'm not joking about Peeps, right? Peeps, boof, waste of marshmallows. I'd rather just puff those up in the microwave and see if they explode and I have to clean the microwave than actually eat them. But that's a different discussion altogether. Where were we on all this?
A permanent ban on Twitch is literally hell for any content creator. You can't go on your friend's channel. You can't hang out with your friends. So I'm going to be trying to figure out what I'm going to do from now on.
Don't. This is a platform problem. Twitch needs to lighten up. And this is exactly the reason. This is exactly the reason why Twitch goes too far. You don't want to be banned at all, so why stream? Especially if you're not established. Why should I go over there and be... I don't care how friendly the various Elder Scrolls Online communities have been to me. They're the ones playing with fire. If Deltia or Vindalia or Mackie Phoenix or J. Hard Ellis or any of these folks out there get suspended from the platform, they are persona non grata. And, you know, this rule applies to them. And you're not even supposed to talk about or knowingly advertise a suspended streamer. So, knowing that Twitch treats people like this, why stick around? Especially when it's only a couple of clicks. Especially when it's only a couple of clicks on to go onto Twitter and advanced search streamer bans Amaranth and see that Amaranth has been banned 5 times. While she's being threatened with 3 strikes you're out for community guidelines violations. And by the way, lest we forget, because we've already had this discussion about DMCA, community strikes on YouTube expire. Only very recently have we seen DMCA strikes become able to expire on Twitch. What about community guidelines? When was Minx's first ban, by the way? And is there still any context left as to what exactly that is? Let me bring up my Twitter. Let me actually bring up my Twitter. And let's see. This will be... I think we have stuff from Streams video to make out of all of this. Let's see here. Oh, I still have the query in here earlier. Cool. I will just change it over to from streamer bans at JustaMinx. Because that's... from streamer bans at JustaMinx, in parentheses, the first ban... December 4th, 2020. Oh, okay. I want it was December of 2020. Is there any context to this? JustaMinx has been banned. Why don't the Twitter search results go back that far? All right, let's go back to 2020 here. Let's effing go. Let's go. What did she do? Okay, here we go. What is it? Oh, yeah. That's right. I completely forgot the context. When Twitch rolled out their harassment rule that banned the use of harassment based on perceived sexual characteristics, which, by the way, Pokimane did on Twitter and stuff, off-platform content, when she was calling a bunch of people incels during that whole fiasco earlier. So again, Twitch is endless double standards. So... she was going around saying simp, incel, and virgin because she thought the TOS changes hadn't gone live yet. When they actually went live in December, got banned for that. So 1 strike in 2020, strike number 2 in 2022. We are talking about community guideline strikes not expiring. But on YouTube, they do. So, 2 community guideline strikes for Minx because of Twitch's hypersensitive policies compared to YouTube. 2 community guideline strikes years apart. She's in trouble and risking a perma. Of course, it could be the case that Twitch doesn't talk about their disciplinary actions with individuals because it's an individual privacy issue. However, and streamers themselves can talk about what's going on, but this should be a very, very, very concrete example of the problems with being a Twitch streamer and why, if you're not established yet in streaming, do YouTube instead of Twitch. There's no emphasis on concurrence. Yeah, there's more robots, and Susan Wojcicki seems lost in space sometimes, and there's other weird stuff that happens over here. But at least most of the problems that you're going to have are with things like a computer system not working or something stupid like that. Seriously. Mike says, hey, but your Christmas tree is still up. It's not a Christmas tree if it's not decorated. is I found the cartoon that inspired me to do this, by the way. There's two parts of a winter in New England. You have holiday, yay, lights, Christmas, food, presents, and then you have the long gray stretch of suck, which is literally the entire rest of the winter beginning in January. That's what I do. The Christmas tree has no decorations. It just has the fiber optics. It's a nice, pretty light as part of Geek House dark mode until spring rolls around. It's my fight the power rebellion against the garbage part of a crappy New England winter. But yeah, this Minx thing, if you look at the context of her first suspension on Twitch, this is all Twitch's oversensitive policies that now have her one strike away, according to what she's saying here, from being permanently persona non grata from Twitch. Why stay on the platform? This is Foosly all over again. If you don't know what my issue is with Foosly, Foosly had 2 copyright strikes back when strikes didn't expire. Now they do, but she signed an exclusivity contract with Twitch with 2 strikes to her name and being in the same position just on DMCA back when the record industry was going wild with DMCA because Twitch doesn't have the technology that YouTube has with Content ID. We're back at this position once again, but this time we're talking community guidelines. Oh, not so. Totally not so. Get back to debate mode. Back to the video, please. Wow. Yeah, like I said, a lot of streamers that I've seen that I watch on Twitch, Minx I've watched occasionally, but oftentimes she's not really doing stuff I'm too interested in. But we kind of our interests kind of diverge a little in that kind of stuff. It's just a simple demographics thing. I'm not really your target audience. But the thing is, the streamers I do watch are all diversifying. They're getting into TikTok. If they have Instagram presences, they're beefing up those Instagram presences, and they don't have to look like models to do so. But it's just a matter of people are figuring out that, you know, the all eggs in one basket thing is a recipe for disaster. I would go a step further and say, be willing to find a job. Be willing to find a job and go part-time, because I really think that we're just waiting for the full-time content creator to collapse on both platforms. I can tell you, especially with the right to monetize, YouTube has been creating problems for YouTube partners with syncing ad revenue for years. But anyways, let's continue here.
Figure out what I'm going to do. But on the YouTube side of things, I definitely want to start putting out more content, proper unique content. I know I kind of gave up on this channel for a while. I just uploaded the same old stream VODs from Twitch, edited. No one cares. It's already been seen. It's already been done before. It was
not on YouTube. No. YouTube is working on a streaming presence. The problem is your stream replays, number one, Twitch streamers fundamentally have a different culture and a different streaming style than literally everybody I've seen who's YouTube only with streaming. With YouTube, it's an expansion of what it is that you're already doing. So, yeah, people have to, and that's why streaming on YouTube works in reverse of streaming on Twitch. People have to know about you first, and then they'll catch you live. But because of this, and because of the fact that streams essentially become YouTube videos after the fact, because of all of this, you're better off planning them out like shows, kind of like what I'm sort of still doing, but not as much as I used to. You're better off planning that as shows, essentially, so that they are watchable after the fact. And if you want to just edit out all the dull bits, there's a cloud editor to do so, but understand that right now, unless that YouTube has fixed this, using your cloud editor. By the way, if anyone went to sleep, have a good night, everybody. It's 9:18 at the Geek House. I know some of you folks on the East Coast are probably going to bed if you're a day shift person. Sleep well, y'all. But the thing is, with all of this is, streaming is fundamentally different on YouTube, and YouTube fundamentally has a different culture and a different way of doing things than Twitch does. One of those differences is the need for show flow, essentially, keep things going, edit out the dull bits. So if you do keep your streams around in replay form for the algorithms to pick up and pass around, for your fans outside of your normal broadcast time to watch because of time zone differences, especially when you are from Ireland, but you're in the US right now, time difference. Or what if you have fans? What if you go to Asia and pick up some fans? Then what? Because you can only stream in areas where live streaming is limited by time slots. So it's not completely worthless to have stream replays on YouTube. Matter of fact, I see early signs that despite the primitive nature of streaming systems on YouTube, replays, raw stream replays, are getting passed around by the algorithms. People just have to express interest in watching VODs on YouTube. Even if they're arrowing around or using the chapters feature, if you have your editor do that, there is a small audience for watching live streams after the fact just to have something playing if they can't watch streams when they're live. So another thing too to remember is that if you have to watch a certain part of a video for it to count as a view, you're talking an 8-hour stream. That's a lot of video you have to watch before you increment the counter, though. So the big thing to watch with streams through that lovely analytics suite we have nowadays is watch time. That's what I've been noticing, and that's one of the reasons I'm still streaming on YouTube, by the way, is when I do these kinds of discussions that people can watch after the fact in part or in whole, it's watch time, even if the views don't count, because they need to watch a lot more for it to count as a view. I saw for 2021 some streams contributing a butt ton of watch time, blowing away some of the tech videos because the topic was interesting enough that people listened to it like I was on the radio after the fact. And I can tell you, as someone who watches and listens to stuff and doesn't just do stuff, I've listened to lots of on-demand archives for radio shows and podcasts over the years. It's one of those things, especially if you want to have some background music while playing games and stuff. And for people like myself with 2 monitors or more, put something on a monitor off to the side. And like, if you're playing a game that's not very intense, like an MMO, like Elder Scrolls Online, really chill like it is not hard at all to watch something on a second screen while doing something on your main screen that's redundant, like say crafting or gathering or doing writs and stuff like that. But no, I really think Minx needs to take a look at YouTube on its own merits, not through the lens of a Twitch streamer. Because if you, like we've said before, with the whole Twitch tuber thing, you have a biased view on YouTube if you're coming over from Twitch, and Twitch has kind of been the center of your universe for a while. There's a few things you definitely have to move away from. Show flow being one of them, by the way, and always keeping things going is massive for going from purple to red.
It was stupid. It was lazy.
It's sort of lazy, but I mean, it's not lazy to stream. That's something I can talk about with regards to people that are like, oh, you're just playing video games for a living. No. Playing a video game, streaming a video game is incredibly different from playing it recreationally. Because if you want to have a good stream, you have to be entertaining. It can't just be about the game. It has to be about you. Let's face it. You may not be very selfish, but you're a personality. Just like on the radio, if I listen to, say, some commentator talk about some political thing, or not political thing, let's pick something else. If I listen to some commentator talk about some podcast topic, I can get that podcast topic anywhere. The reason why I'm listening to the personality that I like is because of the personality's take on it, and the way they talk, and the way they sound, and the way they put on a good show. This is something Twitch got right. YouTube and Facebook have a focus on events for streaming, and that's where a lot of their watch hours come from these days. But Twitch, by and large, has clobbered and hit out of the park the whole idea of the personality streamer. They've done with streaming what radio and television have done for years. It's one of their signature accomplishments.
Well, this week that I am on a break, I am going to be recording some YouTube videos that I hope you guys will love, never seen before. And I also want to talk about the schedule.
Ringing the bell. Let's upgrade to subbed and full bell. Let's see what's going on here. She can also break into daily vlogging as well. Daily vlogging has evolved, especially if it's like reality show vlogging and stuff. Vlogging has evolved to be like streaming, but not live. So if you cut out the dull bits and tell a story, and you can like summarize a wonderful like trip somewhere, like a tourist attraction in Texas or something, in a 20-minute video versus an 8-hour stream, you can probably pick up a whole new audience from doing that. Streaming, a lot of the reason why streaming is as big as it is, I say this so much, but it just bears repeating so much, is because YouTube screwed up stuff with the adpocalypse, and they're screwing up stuff even to this day. Until the YouTube folks can figure out that Twitch grows when YouTube stumbles, until that happens, then streaming is going to appear to be bigger and better than it actually is. Really, the attraction these days, and I understand there's Zoomers that want to be YouTubers, the attraction these days needs to be that you want to get involved, somewhere as a content creator and influencer, but it's platform agnostic. There's people on Instagram that are liking my souped up Elder Scrolls Online screenshots. There's people on Twitch that like when I go into chat and try and turn it into a party, but I'm not really doing much in terms of streaming over there. And then there's YouTube at the center of it all. But I think, I should really try and look for the next big thing if YouTube stumbles over itself too much. Another news thing from today, Matt Koval announced his resignation from being the YouTube liaison, the guy that was in the video about YouTube dislikes. And I was like, hey, you going to a crypto company too? And he was laughing. He was like, no, over on Twitter. Glad he wasn't another fizz, but there's a talent exodus at YouTube. I don't think it's because of any problems at YouTube. I think it's because YouTube is so big that it's one of those places where you're involved with a big company for a couple of years and you gain valuable experience that could help you out as a leadership figure or something at a smaller company.
I will be uploading twice a week on this channel. One will be complete vlog. I feel like I've gotten decent feedback on those vlogs, behind the scenes of stuff. Like if I record something with Schlatt, if I record something with Ludwig, if I record something with Emma, you guys get to see behind the scenes of that stream or that video. Or even just if I go to parties with creators.
Collabs, yeah, but here's the thing. This is something Minx should seriously think about. Streamers are known for, being live, but they're also known, the joke on Twitch is, oh, big streamers are into stalling. Imagine if you could be that person, the YouTuber friend of some popular streamer, and you have like 20-minute videos of things here and there that you do that put a whole new, experience onto something other than just pointing the camera at yourself for 8 hours. So I'll tell you, the average person with limited time to watch stuff can only watch bits and pieces of a stream unless they carve out the time for it. That's one of the reasons why these streamers are making YouTube channels in the first place. The difference, though, is if you from the beginning want to make a video, you have options in terms of creativity that you wouldn't otherwise have trying to splice together an 8-hour VOD into a 20-minute video. There's probably a way that Minx can carve her own path, even if she walks away from streaming because she doesn't want to get permabanned. There's probably a niche somewhere that she could be known for, including with her personality and everything. She's been doing lots of collabs with people over the past few years, so she definitely would not be new to this kind of thing.
Life that you don't see when it's consistently live. That's going to be one video a week on that. And then the other one will either be unique YouTube content or it will be a stream that I'm incredibly proud of, like me and Malkova stuck in an elevator. Not proud, that was just terrifying, but I thought that was hilarious.
Hold on a second. A lot of times with live streaming, we don't want to call it what it is. It's footage. If I go around and I make a YouTube video and I just leave the camera going and I decide what to cut out later and to make a video with, I'm recording footage. I will edit it down into something later. That's the thing too with, the VODs. The VODs are footage. Source material. The thing is that streamer culture has gotten people to watch source material instead of a finished product and perhaps get a little too used to it.
I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, this needs to be
I'm in the
cut
middle
out.
of writing a diss track.
Diss track.
I'm not. I had to say something that would keep your attention. I could. What if we bring diss tracks back, huh?
Nah, it won't happen on YouTube. Not with the policies that are out nowadays. People get community guideline strikes for that stuff nowadays.
Or diss songs. I feel like I'm not.
Unless you're epic rap battles of history and people can find out for a fact that it's fictional and it's kind of a joke, it's too easy to misinterpret a diss track as some kind of harassment. The Rhett Super Ray guys should be familiar with this. They fundamentally changed their format when YouTube started ramping up these policies about not speaking ill of other YouTubers or doing anything that could be constituted as harassment. and this was a long time ago. I mean, I talk about Twitch and what's happening with their harassment policies nowadays, but the truth of the matter is a lot of stuff that happens on Twitch happened on YouTube years ago, and this is one of them.
Rapper, I'm a cracker.
If you can't look, was that scripted or whatnot? Because this is evidence for the YouTube brass. What if they upgrade your suspension to a perma, like they did to Gideon? Because you're like, I don't give a darn. Don't even send that message. Or make a spoof video out of it. Maybe do like the annoying orange with like saltines or something. See, that's the problem here. That's the problem with this video. And you know what? I think since most of the main points are done, we should be done as well. So, because it's all silence, right?
I don't know not to say. I literally meant to say I'm white there. No, or fear. I don't know.
Nah, let's be done with it. Let's be done with it. There's a lot of silence at the end of it. And that's the fundamental difference between our little universes here, because it is important to stay on point with YouTube, but Twitch streamers like, I'm walking around with a camera, or I got my webcam going. Maybe it's like a community get-together like this, or excuse me, audience, fan base get-together. Like, I think fan base, though, since I have chat and sub-only mode. I mean, if it's an audience fan base get-together thing like this, where we're talking in chat and things can go in any direction, fire the music back up, based on this other stuff like that, yeah, that's one thing, but it's going to take a little bit of work for her to get used to the YouTube ecosystem, where staying on point is way more important. Anybody can technically make anything on YouTube as long as it's not TOS, but there's a culture over here that is quite different from the culture that exists on Twitch. Though, I wish Minx all the best. I wish Minx all the best, but this is what I would do if I was in her position. I would not put up with these 2 strike games from Twitch. Fusely had this problem with DMCA, and now she's having this problem with community guidelines. Again, we're back to this problem of strikes never expiring. It's like, Twitch, you can't run a long-term platform where people might be involved for years and try to get better as content creators with these kinds of non-expiring strikes. You just can't. And just, I think, if Twitch continues being this hypersensitive with their policies, their discipline systems, and stupid little details like this, is Twitch really the platform where you really want to stick around for that long? Or could you just be like a streamer for like a couple of years and then move on to something else? Ludwig was doing that before he came over to YouTube. He had an end date in mind where he could go off and work, in the industry or something. But Ludwig actually talks about how he's only going to stream for a couple of years. So he only wants to be a streamer for a couple of years, and that's it. And I think we got to respect that. So what did I open up this browser window for? I don't know. But we will send this off to... Were we going to check something else with that? Completely slipped my mind. It's also 9:30 at the Geek House, so I got to figure out what to do about the TV thing tomorrow. But this will be the stuff. We'll make a stuff from streams out of this. Probably send it off to her. But what I would do if I was in her position is not put up with this 2-strike crap, where strikes never expire. How on earth does Twitch ever intend on keeping people around for a long period of time when dumb things you do in your early 20s can put you, on the line in your late 20s when you might be making content well past that? That's what I was looking up. Twitch advertising. Let me see what the latest numbers are. TwitchAdvertising.tv. We talked about this last. Twitch skews younger in terms of the audience as well. But they recently, to probably protect the privacy of minors, stopped reporting how many were teenagers. But I do know that at one point they were like 20% teenagers. Open advertising. 70% of Twitch viewers now are between the ages of 16 and 34. So, the bulk. Twitch is a young people platform. So, it's got to be a problem, though. What happens when gaming generations get older? Does this change? But, yeah. I don't know. Considering what I saw on the Twitch Rivals thing where the guy got cut off by ad scheduler mid-roll ads. Yeah, that was a joke. That was a joke of a situation earlier. Posted about it on Twitter. I guess I shouldn't be surprised when Big Purple trips over their own feet like this. Anyways, we'll make a stuff from streams from this. I gotta figure out what to do about this TV thing now that it's might be stepping on the toes of a medical appointment tomorrow. But yeah, if I was Minx, don't put up with the... my message to Minx is best of luck, but also don't put up with this 2-strike crap. You know, their strikes expire on YouTube, and I just don't understand why YouTube doesn't market more as the kind of platform where things that Twitch has problems with get addressed on YouTube. Like the problems that can happen to your channel with the ad scheduler, you can turn off ad types as a partner on YouTube. If YouTube stops gating partner status because there's other forms of monetization besides ads these days, that's bad news for Twitch. Suppose you didn't need like 4,000 public watch hours in a 365-day period to get partnered, and you get partnered way earlier, and you gain the ability to turn off certain kinds of ads earlier, so that way when you're live, you have non-invasive ads, and then turn them on for the people watching after the fact. Let the people after the fact hit the skip button on mid-rolls. Can't do that on Twitch. Can do that on YouTube. I'm surprised more people aren't parading about these differences and that the two platforms are in the position that they're in. Because you see people defending Twitch and they're like, well, I want my build spend currency or my gifted subs and whatnot. I'm like, you really want that cosmetic fluff that gamifies streaming and tries to suck more money out of your pocket, or do you want a better viewing experience? Same thing with transcoding. Twitch is like, you're amazing if you have transcoding. We only give it to partners all the time. Everyone else, it's on a priority basis. Baseline feature over here. You can be a nobody that has no audience. You have transcoding. Right. Let's figure out what we're going to do about this TV thing. 2 hours tonight. And by the way, these chat streams are going to go in this direction whenever I do them. Chat can always spin me off on a tangent anytime they want. That's one of the strengths of streaming as we know it. For the topical discussions, well, that's what videos are for. Till next time, this is MultimediaJay signing off. Thanks for stopping by.